What's your take on kitchen cabinets?
I like kitchen cabinets.
What do you like about kitchen cabinets so much?
I like them because you can keep your stuff in them and you can open them and you can close them and they sometimes look really nice. Big fan of kitchen cabinets. Why do you ask?
There's this article where designers are deprioritizing upper kitchen cabinets. Here's why. That is the headline of the article. As I'm looking at this, I don't know if I'll put this in the video. This picture, can you see this?
I see upper kitchen cabinets.
Do you see where the handles are on this?
No, I can't see from
They're
here.
at the top. This
Oh,
feels either AI
it must be
created.
AI.
Something's wrong with this.
Because,
This whole thing feels AI. These designers feel AI to me. Here's um, the take of it. Designers are increasingly moving away. The gist of the article is I get that designers are doing this, not necessarily homeowners want this. They say they're trying to design kitchens that not look so kitcheny. I've found in recent projects creative ways to avoid them. Designer Stephanie Mahani says upper cabinets can feel clunky and can make the below countertop feel messy because of the shadow it creates, while upper cabinets can make your kitchen appear top heavy. Removing them will imbue your space with light and airy attitude. Where do you put your stuff?
yeah, I think maybe if you're a designer and all you care about is the aesthetic, maybe. But yeah, I don't know the alternative. I think there's way too much function involved with cabinets to just get rid of them. And maybe she would replace them with open shelving, maybe. We see that sometimes, especially like in short term rentals, like in Airbnbs. But you have to make sure that your plates are very tidy and orderly um, in order for that to look good. So I don't know if that's the alternative or just nothing. I wonder.
Yeah, two things on that. It's cheaper
Definitely.
and it's dustier. Like, forget about having to stack your bowls and plates correctly and make sure that you have matching stoneware, that you don't have three sets mixed and matched from your past. A cabinet is a function. It keeps the dust, the dirt, the bugs out of your plates, your cups, your glasses.
Yeah. So I don't agree with this designer. I wonder if this designer was just on a tight budget and she just said, you know what, we're moving away from upper cabinets anyway. Let's just do open shelving.
So this is the caution that I would give to homeowners then. Um, One, designers don't have to live in it. Two, designers don't have to sell it. And so maybe because I have a dog in this fight, I want to make it easier for me, for us, for our clients to sell it come time to sell it. I think it makes resale much harder when you do these weird things that are for aesthetic purposes. And I don't think they look any better. There's different ways you could imbue light, by the way. You could have open, transparent glass on it with lighting inside the cabinets
Or underneath.
or underneath. There's so many different ways. I'm not a designer, but I just know there's different ways you could go about this.
Yeah, I think just getting rid of them altogether seems kind of foolish to me. But this reminds me of a different article. Would you like to hear the headline
Of course.
of this article? Okay. It has to do with open floor plans, and it also starts by saying designers. Designers?
That's the headline.
Yeah.
All right. So either it's AI or there's some template on magazines now that go, homeowners trust designers. We need to do. And why is it designers and not interior decorators or?
Yeah, we need to I wonder if the magazines or whatever the publications have figured out that if we start our articles with designers say,
Yeah.
then our articles seem more legit or we get more clicks.
Right, right.
Isn't it just all about more clicks?
Always.
Okay, so the title is Designers Say Homeowners Are Moving Away from Open Concept Living. And
Well,
so
that seems the opposite of the kitchen then.
right, seems like the open concept would
Carry over
potentially imbue natural light.
everywhere.
Right. So I think that's something that home buyers have liked about open concepts for the last decade plus is that it's lighter and airier feeling, even though you do get rid of some of the function that that you get with a more closed floor plan.
Yeah, yeah, because, well, if it's about light, let's say, I'm like, what I'm playing through my head is the problem of design, whether it's 100 years ago with traditional or colonial, or, and I'm getting the numbers mixed up because we're already in 2026. So when I say like 50 years ago, that doesn't exactly take us back to mid-century,
No.
but I'm kind of stuck at the year 2000, I think. But we'll just say mid-century. The design there, lot sizes are a little bit bigger. You can create a floor plan with more window space without your neighbors staring right into your window. So there is probably a constraint with modern home design on these small little envelope lots on how do we get natural light in there. One of the ways is we're going up 9 feet, 10 feet with ceilings on the main floor. But I was just thinking about the light again. If it's about natural light, you could, like, we don't knock down the wall in our master bedroom in order to get light into the closet. We keep up the walls.
Right, but the closet is just too important of a function to get rid of the wall. I mean,
Yeah,
that would be
we don't want to stare at our clothes and have them just sitting there like this. It's just a weird idea of, and a weird way to sell it. I don't think that's a great way to sell it.
yeah. So the open concept, I think there's pros and cons to each type of floor plan. I'm not sure I'm ready to hate on the open concept. It's what we have, but it's nice to have an office where you can close the door and get work done. It's nice to be able to walk into a separate room and have a conversation that maybe if you're having a social gathering, maybe everyone's in kind of in one space and then you want to be in a different space and close the door and have more of a private conversation. Or if you're just at home, maybe kids want to do homework in a certain area. Meanwhile, everyone else is watching TV in a different area. Just different rooms give you different functions.
I would say the open floor plan creates the opportunity for, it makes the home modular. The owner now gets to do what they want to do with it instead of the design and the walls going, this is where the cutoff is and this is what the room must be. But then you have to design that. You need to figure out what's the separation from this room to give it some sort of,
Give it its own flavor.
yeah, this is the identity of this room. You're not just getting spilling over from one room into the next, into the next, into the next.
Yeah. So I think it's a preference thing. If you asked me which one, like in our next house, would we want, I would have to think about it. And I'd probably say it depends. I think it's just a preference thing. I wonder.
What about preference on kitchen cabinets? Do you want cabinets or would you be okay with no upper cabinets?
I think that most people would want cabinets. Even if we're talking about open shelving as opposed to closed cabinets, I think that might fool some people. Some people might not worry so much about the open shelving, but then after moving in, living in the house for a little while, they would get tired of it pretty quick. So ultimately,
and just a tip, if you're going to do the open, just realize like your glasses need to be turned upside down now. There's a lot of dust in a home.
you have to protect your dishes or glasses.
Yeah. So what works maybe for an Airbnb is that they're using there's minimal amount of dishes and they're using them over and over and over again. but we have some cups, some dishes, some plates that we don't use every day, maybe once a month. Those get dusty, so now I have to rewash them. Like there's such a function to this. I think I just get, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more cranky about like, what don't you understand about why we do things this way? There's a reason why we do it this way. Why are you messing with this? It's worked for a long time. Kitchen cabinets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you want to give it a try, you can have one open shelf and just put your nice stuff there that you want on display. But yeah, as for function, no, I think most homeowners would really prefer closed cabinets. I don't care what that AI designer says. Does that designer even? I don't even know if I believe it.
And what about floor plans then?
I think that's a preference thing.
So what's your preference for that?
My personal preference,
Mm-hmm.
I would still probably say open, but I think that every once in a while you walk through a house that's a more closed floor plan. Is that what you call it? Or is there a better way to describe that? A floor plan that is not open. Especially if it's an older home, it might have kind of a nostalgia to it. Homes that were more craftsman, older homes have kind of a sweet feeling to them, and they're typically not open. So I think plenty of buyers would say that they prefer that. I think it might be pretty close to 50-50.
I think what we get, what web appeal is the new curb appeal. I think a lot of this actually starts with real estate marketing, with the buying and selling of the home. How does the home photograph? How does the home look online? How does it feel in the video online? And an open floor plan is going to photograph better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It will look better in photos online than a room with a dining room where you're trying to squeeze the picture in with 3 walls and a small door frame.
And the camera can only get so far away from it.
It can only get so far away unless you go fisheye, and then it's going to distort it and it's going to look weird. And so I think a lot of this has come down to buyers seeing what they want online, liking the idea of it, and then tolerating it in person, but not living with it.
Thinking
and
they
then
like
I think
it.
we've all tricked ourselves into open floor plan is the way to go.
Yeah, it might be a trend, and that's maybe how it originated.
Well, what I've read on how it originated was HGTV.
Easier to get cameras in there.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about how great the open concept is, even though really it's just great for our photographer and our camera guy.
We're going to redo this room, but in order to shoot here for the next month, it would be great if this wall wasn't here.
Yeah, let's knock down the wall so that we can have an open floor plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's where I've read that the big open floor plan craze started from. And then I think it just kept up with how good it looks in photos for the future buyer.
Mm-hmm. Which is a thing that's something to think about when you buy a home. You should always have your resale in mind, whether you're going to sell it 2 years after buying it or 20 years after buying it. It's kind of good to know or to keep in mind, like the open concept will look better in photos. So if I'm buying an open concept, maybe I'm being sort of fooled by the photos, but maybe or not fooled, but maybe I'm just drawn to it because the photos make it look so nice. But whoever buys this house from me will also be drawn to it because it will photograph well.
Unless, here's my only counter to that, unless there's the next generation who grew up in the open floor plan.
They go the opposite direction.
They know they don't like it. They know that they heard their parents complaining about it. And they're like, I don't want that.
It's very possible. Regardless of the era, regardless of preference, well, my preference is at least 9 feet ceilings. That really helps with the light and the feel of the house.
Is there a height that's too tall though?
Yeah, probably because then it becomes too expensive to heat and to cool. Um, Probably just too expensive to build and therefore to buy. But what is that height? I don't know.
Well, there's a psychological thing to this, actually, where I don't know what the exact height is, but I think it's about 12 to 15 feet, where there's something about thinking, your thoughts. Like if you're in a smaller room with a lower ceiling, you're more focused. If you're in a larger room with higher ceilings, like a cathedral, you you tend to have more creative thoughts. So like if you want to focus, go sit in a small tiny office. If you want to have creative thoughts, go outside and
Mm.
not be blocked. So there's like a psychological trick about ceiling height with that. And so designers, I guess I haven't heard from designers, but just these guys that study the space, what they've said is a lot of people feel that have high ceilings, whether it's at work or at home, feel uneasy, like they can't ever focus.
They're too distracted.
They can't get comfortable and just and relax. Their thoughts are always wandering.
But that allows them to be creative. Like you want to be creative outside or in really tall ceilings, and then you want to be focused in smaller spaces.
Yes.
Okay, it's good to keep in mind if you have that floor plan with different types of rooms.
Right. But if your living room is a 20-foot ceiling, you might not feel comfortable in there. It's going to feel like too much.
But maybe just a good place to lounge and have conversations.
Mm,
Maybe not like write a essay or something. Not a good
Right.
homework spot.
right. All right, we covered a lot of ground today.
We really did. We covered cabinets first, and I think we're on the same page that we still like the cabinets. We still like upper cabinets, even if they make the lowers look messy or whatever that designer said.
You're not going to get rid of my kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, I'm going to keep the kitchen cabinets, and then we talk.
Like what do we do next? Like, oh, refrigerators.
Let's get rid of them.
Big square metallic thing in the corner takes up too much space.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, too much function, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dishwasher is taking up too much lower cabinet space.
yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it. What are we doing?
Yeah, just use paper plates. So yeah, I think everyone's, especially designers, are always looking for the new trend. But I say keep the upper cabinets.
Yeah.
Open floor plan. I'm a little more flexible there.
Your preference?
It's a preference thing. What's the other thing we talked about?
Ceiling height.
Ceiling height. I've only lived in 9 recently, and I like that.
It would be hard to go back to 8.
I couldn't go back to 8. 10 or 12, I think would be great. 20, I don't think I need. I think that'd be an expensive AC bill.
In our last home, the entryway was
Really tall.
20-ish.
Yeah, probably 18 because it's 2 stories.
2 stories, like completely open. I did like that.
It was a nice entrance. A lot of light.
So maybe for your entrance, that feels welcoming.
Yep.
At least for me. We had another conversation with our sister-in-law about foyers. What did we determine the word was?
Potato.
About those making a comeback, probably for another topic for another time. But there was something about foyers that having that double entrance actually creates a warmer welcome of separation of like, I'm done with the outside world. I'm now moving into my home space.
Yeah, I've never seen a foyer in a house. So.
I had one in my very first home.
Oh, really?
Takeaways from today.
Oh, I was already kind of going through that.
Yeah.
Just
we did a recap, but what's your personal
let's
takeaway?
do another recap. I think I think there's a lot of home buyers out there, a lot of people in the world. Everyone's got their preference. Everyone kind of wants to, especially designers always want to say that we are moving away from one thing or another.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes they jump the gun when they say that, especially when it involves function. Um, yeah, I'm not sold on getting rid of any cabinets.
From a real estate sales standpoint, I would say you're obviously free to do what you want to do, but maybe consider resale and know that if you're doing something for your personal preference, just have enough self awareness. If your personal preference is really wacky, just know that that's going to make it harder for the resale.
Yeah, or budget some money to bring it back to what most buyers are going to likely want.